Okay, so we're on page Yud Daled, and we're going to start in this the light print here right before where we were learning yesterday, because trying to get organized here. It says Rebbe Shimon Omer. See where that is? Ki nitver shus l'kol ha-neshamos. There was provision to give to all of the neshamos. This is an aspect of the pneumius of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, which is inside of us. The call of the shamas of chochos begalos that have been forced to go into galos. After a Kodesh Baruch Hu, following a Kodesh Baruch Hu Shechina, because he puts them together. The Kanei b'chibur TIKUNEI ZOHAR, I guess, is made lashon kan. So to set up a place, b'chibur in a group to TIKUNEI of b'chibur, that is a publisher the TIKUNEI ZOHAR are putting together. And Vavarki Inyan Galos Shechina Kodesh Baruch Hu Rambos B'Pasuk Katzipor, and it's in this. He says this phrase, Katzipor. No, that is min kina, from its nest. Kain ish noded mimikomo. Exactly what that means, I don't know, but let's see what he says here. So we're going to want to read this again and then go back over the notes. He has two separate things that he notes here, and one is the Bira Zohar, and the other one is the Ziva Zohar. Well, he said, "V'chozed Rebbe Shimon l'masha Amar Lamala." He says, "Kinis asvo Elul Neshamos Maskiliim." So he talked about this, and it's always lashon seichel. La'asos es ha'chibur hazeh, to make this chibur, v'omar b'rishusa is yehid le'ila nishmasim to histarko, that were sent away, ma'as raihu, from their place. In other words, the neshamas are no longer attached. I don't know what it means exactly. Histarko ma'as raihu, baser kudsha barich, and follow kudsha barich b'shchinte. A rishus nitna, and a petition is given. He said that phrase a couple of times here. To make themselves now he says the Russian canon is lashon nest. I'm not sure what the implication of that is, but just it could mean just they set up in a yeshiva, but he says lakanana. So lakanana, maybe a nest is something a little more temporary. I don't know. Lakanana, the minso to nest, the limso of menuchel begalos, and find a place of rest or a comforted place al yedera b'chibur chazeh, through this chibur. Mamaor minayim sha'ashchina, so whether it is galus, so sha'ashchina is in the galus. The Itmar Ba, because it says in regard to the Shechina, Shechina Emer Shechina, he said, Ketzipa nodedes min kino. The bird wanders from its nest, came ish noided b'mekomo. So this is a little tricky, these words. So the same thing is that a person leaves his place. V'les tzipor el shchina, and when we say the words tzipor, he's referring to the Shechina. The only use of that word, when we use that word here, is as we do with the Shechina. Because she has been divorced or sent away from her place. Shehi Nizgan explains it. He says, Shehi Nizgarsha Mimakomba Bukubin Beis Hamikdash. So she had a place, a nest there that everybody could visit. Chadohu dechsev v'zechu sod masha ne'emar shalech teshalok es ha'em. You should certainly send away the mother as a bonim tikach law. Mamaor heichon, and it says, where do they go? Now let's see if I can find where we have to go. So here we are. So he says, Ramos kan galos Shechina. So what we're talking about here is galos. He asks, the word "s" comes the Rabos Shechina to talk about the lower Shechina. But the Rabos says Shechina tachtona. What is it, the Shechina tachtona? He says it's Malchus. So the mother, is the Shechina Elul, Shechina Chalyona, the Hainu Bina, Rushahu Nikwas Aim, also called Ima. Aim. So this is also, we saw this in the last time, so this is the meaning of this phrase, and because, I guess, in the midst of their sinning, the mother went away. His mother was sent away. The Tavaihu is Starku Masrahu, because they're both sent away from their place. That is Bina and Malchus. Nisgarsha Bekoma Begalis, now they're no longer in that place. That connection between Bina and Malchus is lost. Now that is actually very significant. We see in the Sulam, the Sulam says that the Aliyah of Malchus to Bina, that is the connection of that, is the connection to higher level of consciousness. And it's been broken. The beginning door, because of this, it became the Amalosh and Kafel, so therefore it has a double language. Shalech to Shalach. Trin Shluchim. There's two different Shluchim, he wants to say. Shahu Romas Nishtei Bechinas Girush, because it's really a reference to two different types of divorce. Chad Midbeis Rishon Midbeis Rishon. So you could say one has to do with the first time, that the temple was destroyed. Echad Midbeis and Midbeis Rishon. Shehu Keneged the Bina, which has to do with Bina. So the ultimate connection of Malchus to Bina that was broken. In the first one, the Bina was lost. B'chad B'Sheni, and one to the Sefer B'Echad B'Sheni, Shehu Keneged the Malchus, which corresponds to Malchus. So now try to figure out where we're going here. We were yesterday in the Bira Zohar, on the next page, and number Gimel. I'm going to read number Gimel again, and we'll start going back through them. He has a mixture of Bir HaZohar and apparently the Ziv Zohar, and who knows what else there is here. I just have to take some time and mine it, so to speak. So the phrase was Rishusa Isyihiv Le Shvasim De Starko Masraihu. So the Rishut is given to the Neshamot. So the Neshamot, once again, it's Benimius, but exactly what it refers to. Let's read over here in number Gimel on page Tesvav. It says, Rishusa Isyihiv Le'ilin Nishbesim De Starko Masraihu Basar Kucha Varechu, following the Zeranpin, the Shechina Kana the Cheburah. So the Shechina was able to find a place of rest, a place of comfort in this Cheburah. Pirish the Osam and the Neshamot shall the Tzadikim Yeshivat B'Chayehim B'Olam Hazeh, that when they were alive in this world, Hoyol and Golim and Makomom, they were sent out into their place, Midbaros and Ma'aros, etc. Kedei his boded Sham B'Chasiyas HaYichudim. So what did they do in this place? So once again, we have this concept. It's the same concept of the Aliyah of Malchus to Bina. To be able to do that in this place, they have a place in this Cheburah. The Ma'aros Kedei his boded Sham, to start meditating there, finding the proper paths, Ba'asiyas HaYichudim Elyonim, to make the upper Yichudim La'ora Yichud Kudsha B'Richu B'Shechina, in order to bring that back together again. They were sent into Galus following the Shechina, and actually at Bina as well. So now there's been, now let's see what he means by Pitarasam, Yording the Olam Haza, they come back into this world, Mislavshim Begufam, and they get clothed in their bodies. I read it wrong, it's Begufim, in the bodies. So these are, what do you have to think about what we're talking about here? This is the panemius of individuals, or the panemius of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. found bodies in which to reside. Dugmas hamalachim asher b'bochel b'etzel Abraham Bina olav shalom. What's it say over there? V'hinei shlosha noshim nitzavim alon. There were 3 men. What's that all about? The Rashbi. So he stopped there, okay? And then he says these secrets of the Torah were revealed to Rashi. And we find this in another section of the Zohar. There's a lot of different places, so trying to go along with that. So now I'm going to move over and go back to where we were by number Gimel over in the Pirshahud. It says Is Yehiv Le'ila Nishmasim. We're after number Gimel here. The Istarkol Masraku Basakut Shivarit B'Shkinte Rishus Nitna. If we'll look at this, the Elul of the Neshamot Shalat Tzadikim, to the Neshamot of the Tzadikim, people who were righteous in this world. Shenizgarshim and Makomam, that were sent away from their places. Okay, let's go and see if we can find number Kaf Base. Rus Nitna. So where is number Kaf Bet? Kaf Bet is up at the top in the section he calls it the Haros Ha'oros, Ha'aros, so I guess pronunciation with the Aleph and an Ayin. So this would be number Kaf Bet. Here is Kaf Base. So he says Rishus Zu, Eina the Inyan Gilui Hasodos. This Rishus is not the Rishus for Gilui Hasodos. Shazecha Kavarna Amar Lamala, because we already said it above, apparently previous in the previous Amud. So Ella Hakavana Khan al Rishus to call Elul Neshamos of Tzadikim, what the permission is given to the Neshamos of the Tzadikim. Amagurshos Akra Shechina, which I'm not sure what the significance is. He's talking about specific people, I'm thinking, who are very much attached to the Shechina. The Neshamot of Tzadikim, Amagurshim Akra Shechina, they follow after the Shechina. I'm always thinking about the front porch of that property that we have in Note Sion, where between Note Sion and the Beis HaMikdash is Arabs, and the way that they live. With the cemetery down below, it's just all barren, very, very empty place. To find a little bit of comforting rest of Yedei Cheburah. Okay, nothing special here. Let's go back to where we're at number Kaf Gimel. After Kaf Beitz, it says the Elul of the Neshamot Shalat Tzadikim Shenizgarshim B'Makom B'Choyim Golem Avra Kodesh Baruch B'Shinto. Number Kaf Gimel. So number Kaf Gimel writes over here, up here, we're still in the same place. Ha'aros, I don't know how to pronounce it. So he says the Hainish and Neshamas are Yording La'olam, the Neshamas that now fall down into this world, the Galos Sisrei Torah, and for the purpose of revealing the secrets of the Torah. Let me find it here. Hey, Bebechinas Galos Ba'olam Haza. This is being exiled into this physical world. Exactly what's the opposite? The opposite is that these people make a connection with a higher level of consciousness. They're Maskiliim in Bina. And now they're back here. Kamosha HaKodesh Baruch V'Hashchina Nimtzoim B'Galus B'Zmanas and B'Avodos HaRabin. B'Or Yaakov. Now the Or Yaakov writes like this. It's not talking about those neshamot. Shehem mitzad atzilus, that come from the side of atzilus. And let's go back and hear what he said. It gets kan the neshamot shal balei hakabbalah. Now I don't know what he means by balei hakabbalah, But he says to, maybe as an answer, he says, Shehem mitzad ha'atzilus, that they come from the highest level here, so to speak, Atzilus shenitach lechem reshus legalus of the Torah, that these people, the Bali Kabbalah, they have permission to reveal secrets of Torah. Ke'elo neshama shehem bebechinas bonim. So when we have this concept of the neshamas that have the concept of children, ein bechem galus k'mavor l'chalon, they don't really ever go into galus. The people who know that level of Torah, it sounds like, Torah, what would you say, Pshat of the Torah, Pashtanas, which is the concept of eggs, the frochim and hatchling. So what are we getting out of this? With them, they are the one are on Gal. So he says there's a higher level, the Bali Kabbalah, who really know the secrets. He says we're not talking about those people because those people never go into Gal. Very interesting. That is the Aliyah of Malchus the Bina. They are constantly in that line. But here we have people, he says, Afrokim, that's Beitzim and Afrokim, but Bechem Yesh Bechinas Galus and Shechina, they have the Indian of the Galus and Shechina. L'chein Omer Aleichem, so said, therefore it's said in regards to them, Shein Mizgarshem Achra Kodesh Baruch Hu Shkinta V'lo Imohem, they're following after, so see what his words are, Acharei HaKodesh Baruch Hu. So he had said that previously, HaKodesh Baruch Hu, Shechina and Kodesh Baruch Hu, they follow after it. Who V'Shkinta V'lo Imohem, but not with them. They're following after them. They know it's there, let's say, and they're looking. They're looking to try to connect, that we mean. Let's go back on after number Kaf Gimel, back over to the other side of the page, and we'll try to keep working this down. And he says like this, number Kaf Gimel, he says, L'kanada b'chai Cheburah, l'kanan b'limsach b'menucha b'galus. There. Through this, they want to find limso menucha b'galus. Let's look at number 20, Kaf Dalet. Not very long. Let's see what he says. So here it is. So he says, Kamuvur l'chalon. Now this is explained later on. That when a person is learning yesh manuach l'shchina, so there is, when we're doing this brings a manuach l'shchina v'l'chal ha'chochim among all of those who accompany her. Obir ba'or yakar. So what does the or yakar say? Apparently the last one was from the Gra in the Be'er L'chai Roi. But Bir Ba'or Yakar Shekaven Sha'al Yidei Limud Zeh, that through the limud of Sod, and here we're learning Sod, Hashkina Miskashetis, she is able to adorn herself, to make herself very, very attractive. Ume'ira L'tzorach HaYichud, and to shine for the purpose. And why is she shining? She wants to attract the male aspect for Yichud Yegia Gam the Neshamas Agolo. So this same thing reaches the Neshamas that are in exile, the Sovlas Machshachas Hagalos, and they have to bear the darkness of not being attached. Maha'arazu from this Harazu, and let's go. We're running out of time. I think, are we out of time? That's it. Okay, so it's hopefully we'll get more time as we go on. This is Baruch Flashman. You've been listening. We're back in beautiful Boca Raton here, reading the Hakdama and the TIKUNEI ZOHAR.